So far, Saturday night from Wappingers Falls, the elimination game living up to all the drama you'd expect. 1-0 here. Sharks lead in the bottom of the fourth inning as LIU, with a win over Wagner, would be back in the NEC championship game for the second straight year, third time in 4 years, and would have a rematch with Central Connecticut State, the team they fell to earlier this afternoon. About 45 minutes, maybe a little bit more in between games. Setting up an in-state battle here at Heritage Financial Park. And 6, 7, 8. Durso, Sampson, Wade do up for the Sharks here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. And Joseph Durso, a big couple of days here in Wappingers Falls, takes one inside from Hayashi, 1-0. Had the home run in the game earlier. 5 runs batted in. 1-0. And he gets under one into shallow left. Coming in is Tavares to make the catch, and there's one away. But some good at-bats by Durso. And those are the type of performances. Not that Durso hasn't contributed this year offensively. 4 home runs, 37 runs batted in, near 270. But just to have those types of showings. And in the first game, a big mark offensively in the win over Stonehill. So here's Max Sampson, who fouls one away right above our heads. Sampson, 1 of 1. He singled back in that second inning. Later came around to score on an RBI by Jacob Pippersick. And the southpaw Hayashi fires one in the dirt, 1-1. Hayashi comes set at the belt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Delivers. Pitch is driven into shallow center field. Coming on and playing it on a hop is Torres, as that was a nice piece of hitting from Sampson. Went out of the zone and comes up with a 1-out single.
Yeah, that ball, similar to what we saw earlier today with Pippersick and Wright, that ball actually almost bounced and then skipped up over the oncoming charging outfielder and nearly was dangerous, nearly was extra bases. Sampson saw the bounce and gave a very sharp round around first base, but ultimately he retreats to the bag and it's just a base hit. But they have gotten to Hayashi for a base hit every inning so far. They're seeing him fairly well.
And he throws over to first.
Hits in all 4 innings, 7 hits on the scoreboard for LIU. They just have to find a way to stop stranding runners. 2 in the first, 2 in the second. The double play that erased a runner last inning, even though they didn't strand any.
Pitch. In there for a strike to Jared Wade, who's 0 for 1. Sampson does have 13 stolen bases, and yeah, if that ball would have gotten past Torres, I mean.
He was ready to go. He rounded the base pretty aggressively.
0-1, big swing and a miss from Wade. 0-2. That's one thing we really haven't gotten from the Sharks this weekend, is that big inning, and I mean big inning, that we've seen at points this year. As the 0-2 swung on and miss into the glove of the catcher, Ulrich. 2 down here in the fourth.
First of the game for Hayashi. He really doesn't have the swing and miss stuff. He's more of a pitch to contact kind of guy, but I mean, there have been some barreled line drive base hits by LIU so far. You do get the sense the longer Hayashi goes, the more they see him more times through the lineup, that big inning could be coming.
34 strikeouts now for Hayashi in about 56 innings. But how about this? Opponents hitting just .214 against him this year.
It's crafty. Crafty lefty.
Sampson off first. And without really even moving much, Hayashi throws to first base safely on the head first slide is Sampson.
Well, he did the step back off the rubber. Sometimes he does the more traditional Andy Pettit move where he holds the leg up, and as a lefty looking at first base, it's a great move.
Oh, just for a second there, Sampson gave a deke to second on the pitches wasted for a ball to catch up 1-0.
I'm not sure why he has the two different moves and what he thinks he's gaining by the two different moves.
1 ball and no strikes to Ketchup, who takes another one for a ball, 2-0. And now, you're spending a lot of attention over on the runner at first base. You have Chandler Ketchup, the 9-hitter at the plate, ahead now 2-0 after coming up with a single in his first plate appearance. Back over to first safely again, no slide. Sampson getting back with plenty of time.
And that was the step and throw to first without stepping off the rubber, but that wasn't the high leg kick, hold the leg kick. That was kind of a quick step and throw over to first, so he's not trying to fool the runner. So really he's shown 3 different pickoff moves so far today.
Pitch, line, base hit over the leaping glove of Mazzetta into left center field, onto third, head first slide. In there safely is Sampson, and it's another single for Chandler Ketchup. Sharks have runners on the corners here, threatening in this 4th inning.
Well, you love the infusion of a little juice into the lineup with Ketchup, and he also has a ton of speed. So expect Hayashi to pay a lot of attention to him, and potentially with 2 outs on the inning, Ketchup to try and take second to see if he can get into scoring position. This is going to be a fun little cat and mouse game right here.
Yeah, I think that would be
He's probably
exactly
going
what
first
I'm doing.
pitch. Yeah, absolutely.
Pipersick, the RBI single back in the second. He's 1 for 2, and I don't think we've seen a time today in which Hayashi has not thrown over before he's thrown the first pitch if there's been a runner on base. I'd have to go back, but at least this inning, every time it's been to first.
He's thrown as many pickoff attempts as he has pitches.
Now time is called.
And now he's being warned for not addressing the batter before he was about ready to deliver the pitch. No ball on the scoreboard against him, just a warning on that.
The pitch inside. Ketchup kind of stopped. He was going and ends up at second base.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He went halfway. He stopped trying to draw a throw. Wagner wasn't even thinking about it. Their thoughts are 2 outs in the inning, go ahead and take second. We're going to try and get this out and not allow any further damage.
Sampson off third, Ketchup off second. 1-0 to the leadoff hitter, Pipersick. Pitch fouled away. 1-1.
He's just spending so much time on base runners. I don't understand the 3 different moves, the step off or the short step over to third, then the high leg kick. You hold and you look at the runner, maybe try to bait him and sell like you're going to pitch it, but you really step and throw to first. It's paying a lot of attention to those runners.
1-1. Swung on in line into left field. Diving attempt by Taveras, and it gets by him. Scoring is Sampson. Ketchup right behind him, and standing at second base with a 2-run double, Jacob Pipersick. And the Sharks lead 3-0.
Well, you just felt like, even though the threat came with 2 outs, that LIU was eventually going to break through. They'd been hitting Hayashi too well, and eventually they weren't going to strand multiple runners on base, and that's exactly what happened. Tavares in left. That's a tough play, sprinting toward the line. He lays out. I have no problem with him diving for that, because if he lets that ball drop with Ketchup at second, he's scoring on a single anyway. So why not, Joe, try and make a diving catch and end the inning?
And that one hits off of Ben Ferenzi. Looked like it got maybe his left knee. The runner was going to third in Pipersick, but he'll have to go back. As now Pipersick down, hands on his knees, kind of heading back to second. I believe he's okay, and Ferenzi's fine out of the box as well. That one might have got him right on the knee.
Well, it's a breaking ball that hits the leg of Ferenzi, and unlucky for LIU because that base was stolen. There was no attention paid, ironically, no attention paid at all to Pipersick at second. He jumped early and got a great jump on Hayashi. He was halfway down the line before the pitch was even delivered, and he was nearly at third by the time the ball hit the batter. And so he would have had a stolen base at third easy without a throw and would have moved up a base, but he has to go back because of the hit by pitch, dead ball.
Well, the good news is Jack Power comes to the dish with runners on first and second and 2 outs. And on that Pipersick double, as time called, the catcher, Ulrich, going to go out and talk to Hayashi. I mean, Chandler Ketchup off second base, he was almost at home plate before that ball dropped. He got on his horse in a hurry.
Well, that's why I have no problem with the left fielder trying to dive and make a hero play. What's the worst thing that happens? Nothing that wouldn't happen if you let the ball drop. You let the ball drop, Ketchup's going to score from second base. You go and make a diving catch, maybe you can avoid from either of those 2 runs scoring, and you can make a play. So it's actually one of those, more times than not, when outfielders gamble, they make the wrong decision. That's one of those, in those situations with 2 outs, you absolutely try and make the diving catch and maybe make a hero play to end the inning. And unfortunately for him, it didn't work out.
Well, even with 2 outs and it being just 3-0, with who's up and the 2 runners on base, it sure feels like a teetering point, especially how Finarelli is kind of locked in over these past few innings. And there's a long conference on the mound for the Seahawks. Obviously can't afford to surrender much more here.
Yeah, this is Eric Reardon, the pitching coach that's out there. Has the whole infield in for this meeting. Oh, no, never mind. This is Craig Noto. He's going to make a change. This is the head coach, Craig Noto. And they're calling in a reliever from the bullpen. That's going to be it for Hayashi.
Yeah, Seahawks not messing around, and as they should. Down 3.
9 hits, and he's been getting tagged. Even when they stranded runners, from the first inning on, LIU's been hitting the ball hard, and they've seen Hayashi pretty well. So you have to have a short leash in an elimination game. This is not surprising at all.
Yeah, so we will see the new pitcher when he comes in. It's 3-0 Sharks, but threatening with 2 outs and 2 on here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. We'll take a break, tell you about the new pitcher when we come back here on the LIU Sharks Audio Network.